Thank you for that live report. And our team coverage on the possible dismantling of the Department of Education now turns to East Hampton. The American Federation of Teachers has joined 2 Massachusetts school districts, including East Hampton, in a lawsuit filed today, challenging the president's executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Western Mass News reporter Addie Patterson joins us live in studio with more after she spoke with the president of the Federation. Addie.
Chris, the lawsuit alleges that the Trump administration's actions are illegal and will hurt essential services for millions of students across the country. The lawsuit was filed by the organization Democracy Forward, East Hampton and Somerville school districts, the American Federation of Teachers, and other unions are listed as plaintiffs in the lawsuit. Earlier today, I spoke with President of the American Federation of Teachers, Jessica Tang. She tells us that the massive layoffs the DOE just had have already caused damage for students and educators, and says this lawsuit is meant to prevent even more damage in the future.
It already has cut grants, for example, through higher education, where we were trying to create more pipelines into teaching because we already have a teacher shortage. And what that means for families is they have higher class sizes and overcrowded classrooms, and they may not have enough teachers to actually provide the services that our special education students may need, or our reading specialists. A lot of the harm has already happened, but this lawsuit is definitely trying to stop the harm even further, and ensure that our students actually get the services and supports and resources they need to prevent further harm moving, in the future.
Tang adds that she hopes other communities and school districts will join the lawsuit so all students can be given free and equal education. Coming up later tonight on Western Mass News at 10 and 11, I'll have more on this lawsuit as well as input from local school districts on their concerns. Reporting live in studio, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.